Oh, hi, Paul Slatkis. Good news broadcast. Pause the world for peace. You don't have peace if you don't have health. And we're going to talk about a very important health subject. Heart disease remains on the rise in the United States. Most people are aware of blood pressure and cholesterol, but I'll be frank with you, I don't know about this myself. They call it lipoprotein or LPA, little p, LP, little a, okay? And experts say having a high level of this could increase the risk of a heart and is hereditary. Okay. And we have Dr. Fergus. Hi, good morning. Hi, doctor. How are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Okay, she's with them. I'm okay. But I just was in Mount Sinai's heart department to check something out because they saw something actually on my leg. Uh, I have some cancer, and but it was benign, this one. But the way it came out, they thought that I better also get my heart checked. So it was kind of an interesting thing. Roosevelt, or that we call now Mount Sinai West. I'm a Upper West Sider. Are you from New York? Is this Mount Sinai, New
I
York? Yes?
I am, and I'm so excited to be here today, partnering with Novartis to talk about this LPLA or lipoprotein A.
Great.
Yes.
Well, great hospital, and you're a very smart doctor. I see that. And Lynn, I guess Lynn, you discovered somehow that you have some concerns in this for this disease. But why don't we first talk about Fergus? What are we talking about here?
So again, I'm excited to partner with Novartis about LPLA as we approach World Heart Day. I'm a paid consultant, and I'm here to talk to you about this substance. And hopefully, after this discussion, you, along with our listeners, will know a little bit more about lipoprotein A. It is a substance in the body, it's a particle that's composed of fat and protein, and it helps to transport fats and or cholesterol throughout the body. If it's high, it can stick to the arteries and end up causing issues such as a heart attack or stroke. So it's very important to know about it. It is genetically predetermined. So 90% or so of people can genetically inherit it, meaning that you can get it from, the fact that one of your family members, your parents or someone had lipoprotein A. So there you have it. It's typically not something that you can lower, but you can manage your risk factors around it. But again, the important thing is to recognize that if it's high, that it can lead to having, a higher risk of having a heart attack, stroke, or other cardiovascular event.
And so, how do you recognize that it's high? Okay, so I have heart disease in my family. My dad
Mhm.
died of a heart attack, and and I'm taking blood tests. I think every week, almost. No, I take a lot of
Mhm.
blood tests in my life because I'm very in favor of. I ask for everything, no, as much as I can take to learn. Is that one of the on the panels? They call them panels, I guess, that they check out.
Well, it's a blood test. It's not on the typical panel when you measure lipid panel. You would have to add that separately. But certainly, if someone comes into the doctor's office and raises awareness about the possibility of having high LPLA running themselves or the family, and their risk for having, heart attack or stroke, they can ask to be tested. And it's not a genetic test; it's simply a blood test. Once the results are known, then the doctor can talk to you about what those numbers might mean. So typically a high number would be 125 nanomoles per liter, or depending on the lab, 50 milligrams per deciliter, and those numbers are high. Once they're elevated, then the doctor can talk to you about how to further manage your risks that you have, knowing that you have a high LPLA.
Wow. So just one more question. So, I mean, it's usually you find out your cholesterol, you find out your blood pressure, you find out some of these normal kinds of things. What would make you, I mean, I don't know whether my father had that. What would make you think that you might have that? Or maybe Lynn would know, could share also. How did she find out that she was in a concerning situation? But how do you know? Are you just, is it best to ask to check it?
So I let Lynn, answer the second part, but if you think that you are at a risk, you have risk factors, or you have already experienced a heart attack or stroke at an early age, then that's certainly a question that you can ask and should ask your doctor to raise awareness. But I'll let Lynn take it away to answer the
I'm
second
sorry, I
part
asked two
of your
questions at
question.
the same time. Sorry, apologies.
No worries.
And thank you for coming out and
Hi.
talking about this, Lynn. It's very brave of you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. So my journey, I, just like yourself, had never heard of this before either. My journey with LP(a) started in March of last year. I woke up to some, trouble breathing and chest tightness, and it turned out, went to the hospital, had a mild heart attack, and never had any heart issues in my family before. It's not hereditary. There's no heart disease. My parents never had any heart issues. I was lucky that day to have a cardiologist on duty who had younger patients and knew to run the test for LP(a). So to my shock, all my other numbers were all in line, but the LP(a) number was very high. So that was how I learned about it. I found out it was hereditary, and at first it's very scary because there's no real way to lower it. So I was very happy to partner with Novartis to help spread the word about this, because it's something that not a lot of people are aware of.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on out and speak to us. Dr. Fergus, let me ask you another question here then.
Sure.
And Novartis is a great company. I've been doing stories about some of the pharma work that they've been doing and medicines that they've created for many, many, many years. And so I guess once you know that you have elevated LP(a), is there some medicines that people take? Is that how people handle it?
So typically you will take medication to manage your other risk factors, hypertension, your diabetes, your high cholesterol. LP(a) typically cannot be lowered by a medication. So what the doctor, myself or other doctors will say, really manage these other risk factors, ensure that they are optimal, and then they can help you to mitigate the risk for having a heart attack or stroke, so that your LP(a), while it's elevated and it's genetically determined, you'll still be able to manage, your overall risk for having a heart attack or stroke.
So I've been taking, let's put myself into it. I'm like an example here. I have a heart in my backyard from the Kowloon school at one of their selling things to raise some money. Heart is a serious item. I take a statin, and I thought that was for triglycerides. Is that wrong? Is that one of the things that some people, and I thought I was taking it for the heart. Does this make any sense? Is that one of the things people
It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it sounds like you're managing your risk factors, which is excellent. And so that's what we would tell patients to do.
Dr.
Make sure those
Minutoli
other risk factors and the lifestyle, that those are managed, especially if you know that you have a high LP(a). So it sounds like you're doing the right thing. And we're about bringing awareness to patients to be able to manage all these risk factors and knowing about this additional lesser known risk factor called LP(a).
Okay, and where can people go to find out more? And thank you for doing it. Thank you, both of you. And thank you, Novartis. Where do people go to learn more?
So you can visit the website, and the website is whatislpla.com. Again, whatislpa.com. Whatislpa.com.
It's my Mount Sinai. It's my health. That saved my life, that place. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome.
See you later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.